why you were not at Kobe Bryant's memorial service.
All right, so y'all know earlier, Stephen A. went off on LeBron James, and he mentioned Kobe Bryant's funeral.
I never brought up really and never really discussed why you were not at Kobe Bryant's memorial service.
And even I was like, okay, Stephen A., that's a little too far. And I didn't know this at the time, but y'all started flooding my comments talking about LeBron was at the funeral. So he was wrong. But at the same time, mentioning Kobe's funeral, I don't think Kobe's wife deserves that. And I don't think Kobe's daughter deserves that either. They shouldn't be brought into a feud between you and LeBron. But since then, Stephen A. has apologized. Now, if you ask me, he could have waited till he did his show later on today and just apologized on air. But he decided to apologize on Twitter first. And I'm sure he'll copy these sentiments on his show later. But to me, I just rather see a video apology first before a tweet. That's just me. But he tweeted and said, "My apologies and clarification. I misspoke in hour 1 of First Take today when I intimated that LeBron did not attend Kobe Bryant's memorial. I corrected myself in hour 2 when I acknowledged he was indeed in attendance. My mistake. Should not have even broached that subject. It was not my main point. I retract nothing else that I said. Have a nice day." Now, once again, I just don't think that was fair for Kobe's family. Now, here's the thing, Stephen A., like I said, I was with you on disagreeing with LeBron James handling that at the Lakers game that day, trying to punk you, trying to walk up in your face and intimidate you. But I just feel like this whole back and forth, it drug you into the mud to say something like this. And the same thing I said about LeBron, I'm going to hold Stephen A. to the same standard. This is not what the guy that's getting $100 million to be on ESPN should be saying. This is not the Stephen A. Smith I grew up on watching every day. This is not the guy who a lot of people believe Stephen A. to be. You got so upset that you started taking cheap shots at LeBron. And like I said, he was wrong for stepping to you like that at the Lakers game. He could have did that in private. He was wrong for what he said on the Pat McAfee show, trying to insinuate that things could get physical between y'all. But you bringing up Kobe don't got nothing to do with this. Now look, I saw the commissioner of the NBA today. He was speaking about the commentary on the NBA, and he said when he watches other sports, it seems like it's more celebratory than when he watches guys talk about the NBA. And he should take that side because he's the commissioner of the NBA. You don't want to lose the players. You don't want to not side with the players. But I absolutely agree with Stephen A. when he said this earlier. A lot of these guys are too whiny. They're too sensitive. They never talk about when people have their back in the media. They never big those guys up. Do you see LeBron out here publicly thanking Shannon Sharp, Kendrick Perkins, Brian Windhorst for having his back for years? No. The only time he wants to go public is against Stephen A., even though there's years of people giving him praise. Why don't you praise those people? Why don't you celebrate those people? LeBron, Kevin Durant. There's plenty of people out here who celebrate y'all, but y'all never talk about that. Because I watch sports shows from Fox to First Things First, all of it. Rob Parker and Chris Brashad, when they did the radio show together, Colin Cowherd, all of it. There's plenty of guys who always compliment these players. They never talk about it. They only talk about the guys who speak negatively about them. They were talking about Kendrick Perkins today and how Kendrick says LeBron is the GOAT. But he said one thing LeBron didn't like, and he unfollowed Kendrick Perkins online. Huh? Too sensitive. And what a lot of y'all don't get, because I know a lot of y'all side with the players speaking up, and that's fine. But some of them forget you're getting paid millions upon millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars to be criticized. I'm sorry. That's the name of the game. Nobody wants to give y'all that money if y'all can't go perform and the performance be talked about. And not just talked about, critiqued, remembered, discussed, compared. That's what comes with that check. Have I seen commentators cross the line? Sure. And we called them out on it. Just like we called out Stephen A. today when he said what he said about Kobe. But every time they criticize a player on how they play and what happened in the game, it's not the commentators doing too much. It's not the commentators bullying the players. It's not the commentators being disrespectful. There's plenty of narratives that we all know about the NBA about certain players. When people talk about Anthony Davis always being hurt, you don't need Stephen A. to say that on TV. Fans know that. When we talk about James Harden not showing up in the playoffs, fans know that. You don't need the guy on TV to talk about that. People had questions about Kyrie Irving and the way he sat out during COVID. Some people were with him, some people were against him. You didn't need commentators to say that, but usually commentators are just saying what the people are saying. When KD went to the Warriors, did y'all need people on TV to tell y'all that was weak? Or did y'all say it all over social media? When y'all feel like this experiment with the Suns has failed, Bill, Kevin Durant, Booker, they not going nowhere, do y'all need people on TV to say that? No, we all know that. I think we done got to a point where some fans and players are upset that commentators are saying the same thing that you see people on Twitter saying. Because people can only call it how they see it. We know LeBron is getting old. We know Luka could be in better shape. These are narratives that we know. So stop being sensitive. And if you don't want to be talked about, retire and give the check back. Get a check back. But y'all want to have it both ways. Y'all want to make all of the money in the world and never be talked about. And that's not how it works. But Stephen A., you was wrong. You apologized. It is what it is. Let me know what y'all think about this. Like the video and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.